Okay.
Okay, so they closed the border about 2 weeks ago now. So before that, obviously it was a transition camp, so
Right.
people would come, stay one day, and then go
And then,
through.
right.
Now that they've closed the border to everyone but Afghanis, Iraqis, and Syrians, everybody else kind of gets stuck. But because when it first started, people who got stuck, they went into the big tents and they pitched their own tents.
Inside the big tent?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
So basically, what you have a situation where you have a lot of big tents with small tents inside them, and these tents are supposed to hold like 300 plus,
Okay.
and they're holding like maybe 150 because
really?
of the
Okay.
and also because people are staying long term, they're becoming more and more territorial about their space.
I see.
Understandably so,
Right.
because they're so uncomfortable, they're so cold, and the situation is so bad that at least they want especially if they're family, they want the space, so they've got benches in there. They've made like
okay.
the borders. As a result, we basically reached capacity inside the heated tents. Which means that new arrivals, like usually they come at night as well,
Right.
and there's no space, so they have to pitch tents outside, which is it's getting colder and colder there.
Wow. Okay.
There are lots of tents pitched along the tracks, especially around the border,
Right.
like in the woods. There's loads of people, mostly single men sleep there. But there are lots of single men in the big tents as well now.
I see.
And because there's no organization, like nobody goes in and organizes it inside, we now getting more and more like families turning up with children, having nowhere to sleep. The other night I found a single mother with a 4-year-old in a makeshift tent without any blankets. And obviously these people kind of fall through the cracks as well, because when they come, nobody gives them anything. They have to find somewhere. So what we do is we go around basically identifying like really vulnerable people and convince UNHCR to give us their blankets so that we can give it to them. And if we run out of UNHCR blankets, we go and find blankets from somewhere else. But yeah, distribution is a nightmare during the day because it's very open, it's very busy. So if they find out you have blankets during the day, the blankets will go like in 5 minutes, and it doesn't matter if they need it. Obviously, everybody needs it. Everybody gets cold at night, but we have to prioritize like who's going to be cold and who's going to be freezing to death.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So. Because of that, we have to do the blanket distribution at night when everybody's asleep, and we can go and see for ourselves who really needs it. Food-wise,
Are you able to go in easily among the people and just do an assessment?
for now, yeah.
Okay.
But safety is becoming an issue.
For the people, safety for the volunteers. In what way is safety an issue?
Because it's majority single men here.
Okay.
There are families and children, but in comparison, like I would say, from what I've seen, I would say probably 70% single men. Would you say? Fine. For now, it's fine if they try and put their arms around you, and you say no, and they do. Although someone from MSF was threatened with a knife yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's so many different things: being cold, being hungry, being frustrated, not knowing what's happening. Not having had a shower in 2 weeks or a month for some of them if they've been in Moria as well and Scotland. So all of this, and then the hopelessness, day by day they're losing hope, they're getting more frustrated. Some few times they've tried to cross the border, been stopped. A guy tried to commit suicide by electrocuting himself the other day. So yeah, that side of things is getting more. You kind of feel the tension is rising more and more. And drinking, like you see a lot more drinking.
Where do they get supplies from? Is it all available in that area by Idomeni, or do they bring them?
I have no idea. Somebody goes and gets them, I guess.
Guess what?
Alcohol?
Oh, it's right at the train station. They have a kiosk or whatever.
Oh, they sell it there?
Beer, yeah.
I don't know about these things.
What about violence against other volunteers? Like, I'm sorry, refugees.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there are fights.
there are lots of
Really?
fights, yeah. And also there's like there's a lot of racism as well between the, like, Moroccans are racist against Iranians, Iranians are racist against Moroccans,
Oh, really?
and yeah, like everybody is like in their own groups, and everybody's hating on everybody. And that's kind of getting worse, and also, like, you know, there's a lot of frustration towards like Afghanis, and like yesterday we found an Afghani, like 17-year-old, I think he was 17.
24.
Was he 24? He looked really young,
Yeah,
but
he was 24.
he got stuck because his paper was like, he lost the original, and the copy didn't look very good, so he had to stay overnight. And they made him stay so that they would check his papers, and all his friends went through, and he kind of just like sat by himself with just one blanket and was really scared. And I did worry about him a bit, because the frustration towards Afghanis is, you know, it's that kind of like, why do they get to go through? Clothes, I think our biggest problem is like clothes, like distribution in general is really difficult, and there's no system for it, and the camp is very open, and you can't distribute during the day. So we want to distribute clothes, but we don't know the best way, and we're trying to set up a distribution point that we can secure, so then we could just do stuff from there, but we're just hitting a lot of walls.
What did the night shift involve? I think just
mostly we do the night shift because of blanket distribution, and also making sure, like the guy I was telling you about, like if it wasn't for us, he might have just sat on that bench all night freezing. But we saw him, we talked to him, we found out what the problem was. You know, we made sure he knew what to do, where to go tomorrow, and then we took him, found him space in one of the tents, found a nice guy, and he said he'll take care of him and find him a space. And we go, like I said, making sure that there are no women and children sleeping outside, making sure people who don't have blankets, we give them blankets. We found a guy who said he's been sleeping outside for six nights because he's from Pakistan and he's by himself, and you know, it's quite, you know, like it's quite intimidating going into a tent with only Moroccans or only Iranians. So he'd ended up and he was really cold, and he was an older gentleman. It was like, it's mostly primary care, or when there are fights and someone gets slashed in the face or broken leg or things like that. But I would say soon we're probably going to start having problems with like malnutrition and low immune system and temperatures dropping. These people, imagine if they arrived on the beach like 3 weeks ago, and all they've been given is, like, you've seen the kind of food they get.
Yes.
And like here they only get, I mean, we've set up a kitchen. Well, we've helped set up a kitchen. Well, a group turned up. They said we want to cook, so we just gave them like lots of supplies and been kind of supporting them. And they make soup, like vegetable soup. But that's not enough for the whole camp.
This organization was giving food. I think it's many camps out in Lesbos. They have tomato, chicken, and rice, and then with lentils and rice.
Nobody gets
meals.
Food. Like what we want to do is next. We want to make like packed lunches for like women and children. We give like an egg and a banana. I mean, it's like an idea. We haven't started it yet. Distribution is a problem because they have to wait. They queue up like 2 hours before distribution time, and then obviously from distribution starts until they get their food, there's another hour. And if it's raining, you can imagine, like 3-4 hours of waiting.
That's a lot,